Okay, good morning, everyone. Today's Monday, June 22nd, 2020. The time is 11:01 a.m. This is a meeting of our Commissioner's Status Update. It's part of our weekly junket, if you will. Officially calling this meeting to order, attending are Commissioners Duncan, Brooks, and Filios. Do we have any changes to the agenda? I don't hear of any. So first item is compensation plan and bonuses. General discussion. Leslie?
Sure. So what I started realizing in the budget process is that once the decision is made by the legislature to restrict our funding, our revenue, tax revenue specifically, we won't actually be able to afford a COLA plus matrix moves for general pay plan and public safety. So I was thinking that we probably need to have the discussion of how do we want our compensation plan to look going forward. What I did is the first page I included was the numbers. So these are not the numbers that were presented to us at first. This is kind of a Plan B. Thank you. Thank you. Plan B. And I was looking, and we actually still can't even afford a Plan B. So that's why I was thinking we probably should talk about ways to go forward. The next packet that I included is to read another time. I just wanted to point out that there are other options that we can look at. This one is kind of a merit-based compensation plan, and I'm not saying that this is going to cure everything. I'm saying that it's just another thing that we can look at. And we can still look at some type of step plan. It's just the way the steps are set up right now, we won't be able to afford it. So I just wanted to start the discussion, see what there was appetite for, if we wanted to try to pare down the matrix for less of a, I don't know what else to call it, and try to make things fit within our budget that way, or do we want to look at a different compensation structure? So that's all I wanted to do today for the compensation plan, was just to say we need to talk about it because we can't afford it.
Okay, so are you referring to fiscal 21?
Yes.
I'm not convinced that we can't afford it, but what do you think?
Until we get some more pieces of the pie, i.e. revenue forecasts and healthcare cost forecasts, I think we're way premature in saying we can't afford it.
So I'm talking about for FY '22.
Oh, okay, different story.
Once the legislation comes
Yes.
in and says, what essentially they want to do is give us new growth or 3%. And if that's the case, 1.6 million, which is steps, no COLAs, is more than our new growth. It might be just about our 3%. But that would mean nothing else. We wouldn't afford anything else.
When the legislature rules, I'll
Right.
be ready to talk about it.
It's something to ponder.
Exactly. That's all I'm saying.
Yes,
is we just need to
yes.
keep that in our forefront
Yes.
of our mind. We can't
Absolutely.
afford it the way it's set up now.
Right,
So that's what I wanted to do.
yeah.
The second thing is bonuses. And Sylvia, did you want to add anything to the compensation part of it?
No, and my goal would be, yes, I do want to add.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, take the mic.
Okay, so my goal would be to, can you hear me?
Can you hear her?
It's green lights on, yes.
Okay.
My goal would be for fiscal year '22 to also do another market analysis to see how we're faring along the way. So we would want, sometime in fiscal year '21, very early on, establish what that market is for our positions and then be able to do that as well.
Okay.
And would that be with the firm that purchased BDPA?
Yes, but they've been sold to Amerivan, so we would work with them.
Okay, okay.
We could look at other entities as well, because there's debate of, which firm to use. We could do some RFPs or reaching out and saying, what would you try this to give a salary rate?
Okay.
What's the name of the company again?
Amerivan, Ameriven.
Okay. Got it.
So I wanted to also start thinking about bonuses as far as at the end of the year, we have some departments, not all departments, take what they have left over in their B budget and just start buying things that maybe weren't necessarily part of the budget, things that maybe they didn't necessarily have to have, but just kind of a, we need to spend it, otherwise we're not gonna get it next year attitude. And so what I thought of was saying, okay, the beginning of August to kind of reach out to our countywide and say, hey, we're looking at doing bonuses. If you have B budget, if you have no A budget money, but you do have B budget money left over, try not to spend it on things that maybe you don't exactly need. And let's talk about, you know, potentially giving bonuses with it. So, you know, taking action of the board, because we can't really just give permission for that, but, and then maybe a list of who in their department they believe would be eligible for bonuses due to, you know, some of the things we've experienced this year with COVID, and because I know there's some people who had some time off just because of the nature of their jobs. There's other people that had to really make up for things and be here every day, and so I just want to kind of start that discussion. Does that sound like something that either one of you would entertain, and just move in that
What do
direction?
you think?
I'm not crazy about bonuses myself. I'd rather see the money go into COLA and matrix funding than bonuses. Bonuses are pretty arbitrary.
You know, it's interesting. I've always, I shouldn't say I've always, but I've supported the concept of bonuses. But if at the end of the, it really, I don't see the bonus as necessarily replacing COLA, because if we're talking about bonuses for 800 people and it's a couple of $100, it's not going to make a big difference to folks. But I'm certainly willing to look at it. I mean, if there's money at the end of the year and if it makes sense, and if we're generally unable to do things through COLA, it might not be a bad idea.
Right. So that's just, once again, no decisions to be made today, just something to put on the radar to start thinking about, you know, how we may want to see that implemented. And we may want to say, you know what, we have enough money, $200 per employee, boom, there's no arbitrariness of it, it's just done.
Yeah. And I think that's where Nancy can help us, doing that analysis to see where we're at as the time approaches. But in theory, I don't have a problem with it.
Okay.
Yep. All right.
All right.
So that takes, is that it
That's
for
item-
item one? Okay, so item two, Armory Building discussion, and my understanding is we need to go into executive session, and so I'll entertain a motion.
I move we enter executive session pursuant to Idaho Code 74-2061D. And
I
I,
second the motion. Aye.
aye.
Aye, entering into executive session with Deputy Civil Prosecuting Attorney Dave Ferguson.
So, yeah.
Okay, so we're about to exit executive session. Is there a motion?
I move we exit executive session with staff to proceed as discussed and,
Allocating the,
yeah, allocating 2,500 to get an opinion from Kaplan Kirsch.
Second the motion. Aye.
Aye.
aye, and the motion is carried. So the third item is a facilities item that we need to enter into executive session to discuss. So is there a motion?
I move we enter into executive session 74-2061C. Aye.
Aye, entering into executive. Okay, so now we're ready to exit executive session. Is there a motion?
Yes, I move we exit executive session with staff to proceed as discussed.
I second the motion. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. So we're moving on to our final agenda item, which is pending item status review per the attached list. So I guess we can go through one by one. This shouldn't take very long at all. Okay, so the first project is the Romer House. Based on the latest meeting that we held, I guess any one of us can jump in here, is we have basically abandoned the idea. Go ahead, Leslie.
Well, we're up to the facilities use agreement. That's what we're waiting for Pat.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so I talked to him last week. I thought it was going to be done last week. Did you want to touch base with him?
Yeah, I'll follow it up, yeah.
Okay. So Chris will talk to
I'll
Pat.
take care of that.
Okay,
I reached out to Julianne about the tour stuff.
Okay.
And I haven't heard back from her.
okay.
So I haven't heard anything about that, opening it up for a couple hours and videoing and stuff.
Right.
So I told her it was a one-time deal, and
Understood.
that was it.
Right, so she'll set up a time for her donors to go through. It'll be a single viewing, maybe a morning, that sort of thing.
I told him she could have 2 to 3 hours.
Okay.
6 to 8 people at a time. I would be there the whole time. But I told her she needs to give me a week's notice so that I can let you guys know. Because in the past, she has called me on more than one occasion and said, I need you there tomorrow.
Understood.
And I'm not doing that. So just
Okay.
letting you know.
Yep.
Okay.
So we're treating it as we would any other auction, like a foreclosure auction or anything else. The time is set aside for people to view the property.
Yep.
And then we go from there.
Yeah, this is more of a one for her. If we get to the end of September and they don't have the money and you decide that you are gonna have to go out to deed, then we would have to do this again a second.
Oh, I see where, okay.
See what I'm saying? The
different-
only
two
person
different
that we're
situations.
dealing with
Yeah.
right now is,
Okay, okay.
is her and her
Yeah,
Her
wanting to get in
potential
the building
donors.
so she can get some donors.
Right.
Yes.
Understood, okay. All right, moving on, her district, Bill, anything?
I called this guy last week 3 times and got no response, so the ball
Is
is,
that Gene?
yeah, I forget his last name, I've got it.
Should we even deal with this any longer?
I would take it off, because he's just, it's hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, and then it's here, and then he goes, I'm not available. And I'm not gonna waste my time nor your time with that.
Well, and he's the only one apparently concerned.
Yeah, and he's got a
Right.
perfect map anyway.
So you want to strike it?
Yes, I would, please.
Okay. Next item is mine, fire station at the fairgrounds, still waiting on legal. I don't know that there's any rush necessarily because they came to us, and so they must be satisfied with the progress, however fast or slow it is. But again, I can continue to follow up with Pat. Okay. Campus auction MOU. Because of COVID, we've heard nothing further. Sean, should we strike it or just leave it on?
I would strike it unless Todd, if Todd wants to do it, he's gonna request that again.
So let's strike it for now. I think with COVID, so much has changed. Okay, so remove. Okay. Body scanner, Bill.
I talked to Captain Holacek again, and I talked to him this morning, as a matter of fact, and he said what they found was the less expensive body scanner needed another $12,000 worth of attachments, so it doesn't spray radiation all over the place. And the image was not good. But the one, which is a little bit more expensive, that they use in Ada County, is all-inclusive and has a warranty 5 years. And good news is they found the money. So he said, as soon as we're going to bring this to the Board of Commissioners business meeting, not tomorrow, but the next Tuesday.
Okay,
We're making some progress finally.
okay.
So are they taking then they're not taking the lowest bid, they're taking the second?
There's only 2
There
bids.
was only 2 bids, right, so they're taking the second bid and
Yeah,
not the
the
lowest.
one is crap equipment. How's that? Legal, that's a legal term.
I was looking at them because I had a feeling that there might be something hidden
Or they
in
can buy
weeds
the
that-
cheaper one, and if people start to lose hair, we'll know the radiation.
The problem is, it might be the deputies.
Yeah, blow and radiate.
They'll look
I just
like
don't remember the difference in the price,
Oh,
because. you
one
have to
was
be-
102 plus the 12.
Okay.
And one was like 120 inclusive. Those are approximations.
Okay. Okay, so that's going to come before us at a business meeting, not tomorrow, but next week.
Correct.
Got it. Okay. Facilities expansion ongoing. Leslie, you want to comment?
Sure. So Sean and I sat down and started the RFQ, and Sean expects to have it done, what, next week?
By the end of next week.
End of next week, yeah.
Wow, okay.
What did we call it? I can't.
Attorney Center, right?
So we're calling it the Kootenai County Attorney Center.
Oh,
Unless you have a different, that's what the RFQ is gonna say, we can always name the building, but the project is going to be called
project.
the Kootenai County Attorney Center.
So we figure if prosecutor and public defender are gonna be there, it's pretty much Attorney Central.
yeah, there you go.
And it
Okay.
might make it easier for people to find than if they're all in one building.
Yeah.
So Ann doesn't get her own building. She gets a big part of one, right? Okay. Okay, which is our final item, I guess, right?
Yeah, and so that's not gonna get done until budget's finished. So I'm looking at August, we can pick that back up again.
Post-budget,
Yeah.
August. Okay. Anything else? Okay, so you wanted to see us, Sylvia, after? Okay. Okay.
Sure.
Right, so public comment, anyone? Hearing none, 11:51, meeting adjourned. Thank you.